Hi guys, good afternoon. Day 2. I am coming at you today with foundation. We are going to talk face. Yesterday I touched on some eyeshadow looks, and don't worry, tomorrow I got my days mixed up. We'll definitely be talking about all about your eyes, but today we are focusing on the face. I went ahead and did my eye makeup and put some lips on, but I'm going to show you my favorite foundation look with a little bit of natural contouring. So first, before I get started, when you watch, let me know that you watch by saying hello. I love saying hi back, even if it's the replay, which I know most of you will be watching on the replay. So, all right, color matching, super important. There's going to be a quiz going up here soon that you can take. It'll help you find your perfect color. It goes over neutrals and cools and warm tones, and that's really important to know because that's going to help guide you in your foundation picking. Another thing that I want you to pay close attention to when you're picking your foundation color is matching your neck. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people have a face that's lighter than their neck or vice versa. So our goal should not be to match our face exactly, it should be to match our neck. So that's why I always ask people, send me a picture of your face in natural lighting with your neck as well, because that's where I'm going to match you up. I have a lot of pink in my skin, but I also have some yellows in my skin. So I have more of a neutral skin tone, and I also look at my neck here. The redness is more superficial redness. It's not the undertone of my skin, as you can see. It's more neutral. A powder, a liquid, a cream, whatever it may be, it's important to find the right color, because otherwise your foundation isn't going to look great, and it is the base of all your makeup. Skincare is the very first thing you should be doing. So always cleanse your face, moisturize. Even if you have oily skin, always moisturize that skin, because if your skin is nice and moisturized, you are not going to have premature wrinkling and aging. So moisturize. There's something out there for everyone. What I use currently with my combination skin, I use, let's see, kind of hard to see. This is the Boscia Vital Daily Moisture with SPF. Always have some type of SPF in your skin care regimen, whether it's your makeup or your moisturizer, whatever it may be, because the sun really does age your skin. You may not see it when you're in your 20s or your 30s even. It's going to start showing up and you're going to regret it. So make sure that you are using a SPF of some sort. Okay, next thing I always recommend doing is priming. I always prime with the Smashbox Photo Finish Light. This is a primer that helps prevent my foundation from setting in any of my fine lines that I find around my eyes or any of the larger pores that I have in this area. And then the added bonus of this is that it keeps my makeup on all day. So if my skin starts to get oily, instead of my makeup absorbing, or that oil absorbing my makeup, the primer is going to prevent that from happening. So any primer takes a very small amount. If you put too much on, it's actually going to cause your foundation to roll. So I just do one pump, and then I rub that in with my fingers. Any of my skincare, I really just use my fingers. There are applicators out there, but I don't know how legitimate they are. I don't know if it's just a way for them to profit more. I hate to say that since I'm in the makeup industry. I do have a mask applicator that I love using. That's just because I don't want to put my hands down into a product and risk contaminating it with bacteria, germs like that. So I'll show it to you. It's just like this, and I use it to get my mask out and then clean it afterwards, and it makes me just feel like things are cleaner. But if it comes out in a pump or a tube or something, I don't feel like I need an applicator. I'm just going to use my clean hands. Alright, I am primed, I am cleansed, I am moisturized, I'm ready to go. So my favorite type of foundation used to be the powder, but now that I have more dry skin in some areas, I prefer liquid. I like the Liquid Touch foundation because it feels lighter on my skin, believe it or not, than the powder did, and it gives phenomenal coverage. So that's why I prefer to use that. If you're looking for a very, very, very full coverage, like you're trying to hide acne, or there are even some out there that cover tattoos, something that heavy, a cream is the way to go. So with this, since it is liquid, I shake it up to make sure it's all good, and then I work off the back of my hand, like kind of like what do I want to call it, my palette? I don't know. Okay, so I am going to just drop 5 drops. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I also, right now in that transition from summer to fall, I feel like my skin's lightening up, but not as light as this lightest color. I take 2 drops of a medium color in the same undertone. So this is a neutral undertone, and use those together. It just gives me a more custom blend. But as you can see, I'm almost all the way to that palest color. I blend it with my finger, and then I just take the extra, kind of dot it on my face. I like to use, for a while I was using this brush, looks like this, to do it, and it was really pretty. You just, okay, I'm back. Okay, so you just rub it in with the brush. I actually prefer now to use my Beauty Blender. I was using it first, but I like to go back in with this because it gives me a little bit more natural coverage. So I tap it, and your Beauty Blender needs to be slightly damp. If it's not damp, it's not going to work as well. It's going to actually absorb your product, and it's not going to look as nice. Hi, Debbie. Okay, so you just keep blending. And I recommend spending time blending your foundation. If you don't, the rest of your makeup's not going to look as fabulous. So I'm going to reload my Beauty Blender and go back over. Now, I don't know about you, but I really don't like when I feel like I have makeup on. It's uncomfortable. I am a face toucher, which means by the end of the day, if I feel like there's something on my face, it's going to be all gone anyways because I'm going to touch it off. I'm going to always be touching my face. This that I'm putting on, another reason I love it is because I don't feel like I have anything on. But it covers up all of my redness super well. So always make sure you're blending your foundation in to any of those little, I call them nooks and crannies, but my mom told me I shouldn't call them that anymore. It doesn't sound flattering. And take these little folds, okay, and go back under my eye. I did not put concealer on first. I'm going to put that on after. Now I'm going to go on my forehead. This is buildable. Most foundations are buildable, so you can keep going. But I like to stop at 1 because you could tell. Internet. Okay, blend it down into your neck. So like I said earlier, we're going to match our foundation with our neck, so it would be silly not to blend it down into that neck. This is the only time I'm going to tell you to blend downward. All the other times I want you going in somewhat of an upward motion because you want your face to look lifted. And if you're dragging your skin down all the time, pulling it down, eventually it's going to stay down, and you don't want to cause any more premature aging than what you already have. So when it comes to foundation, I don't care if you're using powder, cream, liquid. This is a situation where I'm going to say less is more. So finding the right formula for you so that you can use less is ideal. Now, the reason why I go over my foundation with concealer is because you're going to use less. If I'm already covering up a ton of my redness or any kind of blemishes that I have with the foundation, why would I need to go over it with concealer? So that's my thought process. And then the second reason I like to use about this small amount. It is a highlighter. It doubles as that contouring highlight for me. So I start under my eyes. You can see I have this little blue line here, and I have a little bit of redness under my eyes, or that purple tone. And I don't take it just under here. If you left it right here, it's not going to look as natural when you blend it out. So I take it all the way down. And then I like to take it up to elongate my face. Okay, so I leave that there, and I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side. It's the size of a grain of rice that you place on your concealer brush. And then when you're choosing a concealer color, you're going to want to choose a color that is lighter than your foundation. That's going to help conceal those areas. There are occasions where you'll want to choose the same color, like me, when there's no lighter color to go to. Or if you're trying to cover just blemishes, that may be another reason you'd go with the same color. But when you're trying to lift the skin color and cover up some of that purple or redness, going lighter is going to help. And then I also, when I'm contouring, I like to take it down the bridge of my nose. This will cause your nose to look more narrow. And then I also like to take a tiny bit, a very small amount, and place it right here. This gives that appearance of a lifted upper lip or a bigger lip. And then I also like to take a little bit on my chin. Just because of the anatomy of my face, my chin tends to go back. And this helps me feel like it sticks out a little bit more. So you always put concealer where you're wanting your face to look more prominent or lifted. So I also like to take it on my forehead here. And all of this we're gonna blend out. So typically I go ahead and blend out this, and then I go back in with my bronzer or my darker contour look. But let's see, today I'm going to actually go in with this is a contouring kit. I'm going to go in with this dark color to show you where I place it, and then I can blend it all out. So you want to contour where you want depth. And you have a natural contour right underneath your cheekbone. If you go like this, you're able to see. You also have a natural contour up in your hairline and along your jawline. And if you take it along your jawline, you're going to create that sharper, you're going to kind of help with that double chin look. And then you also can take it here on the side of the nose as well if you're wanting a elongated or skinnier nose. So I just take a foundation brush, and this is going to look dark. I go pretty dark on it and place it right where I want the contour. Same thing over here. And then I take a little bit, not as heavy, and take it along those areas. And then I like to take a smaller concealer brush to go back in and picks up and place some of that contour along here. And then one mistake I see a lot of people make is making a complete line like this. Just add a tiny bit, I'm talking tiny bit, unless you want a really dramatic look along here. And you can do this for any age, any face shape. Just follow the natural contours of your face. I don't want a full Kim Kardashian highlight look or contour look. I'm going for an everyday look that you can achieve. You can go to work, you can go to church, you can go out, no matter what you want to do. So obviously we can't walk around with this. We need to blend it out. So I take my damp beauty blender, moisten it with, it's a gross word for people, sorry. Dampen it with your rose water or just regular water. I like rose water because first of all, it smells delicious. And then second of all, it has a lot of antioxidant effects for your skin. So I go back in and just blend. And you want to blend upward. Typically, I don't have my eye makeup done before, but I wanted to have a finished look so I could just run to the grocery store afterwards. So it blends out super easily. I do the lighter first, that way I'm not taking some of that darker color back into where I'm wanting to lighten it up. And then I go back over where I place my contour to blend that out. And then I like to use a different part of my beauty blender to do that. Once I'm happy where everything is, you'll see it all come together. You take the side of your beauty blender and blend upward. You can blend it in over that highlighter or that lighter color. Okay, that's all blended out. Tapping motions is always going to be best. Okay, now that I have a little bit of color on my face, I don't have enough. I feel very pale, so I suggest after you have something that completely evens you out and makes you nice and light, go back in and add color. Even though I have that contour, I want a little bit more color, so I'm going to go back over with a bronzer. I'm going to use this bronzer here. It's a Tarte bronzer. I'm using it because it doesn't have a lot of shimmer. When I'm trying to create depth, shimmer is going to do the opposite effect. It's going to attract light and make it look bigger. So get a bronzer without a shimmer if you're doing it to contour. I'm just going to go back over where I put that, and I try to stay back here. I don't want to bring it in too far because that makes my face look dragged down and fuller. So if I keep my bronzer and my blush back here and blend it up, it helps elongate my face. If you have a longer face and you're trying to make it a little bit shorter, you can bring it downward. And it also works really well. This is like something on the apples of your cheeks for somebody that's younger. I would say in their early 20s or younger. Okay. I'm happy with that bronzer. I'm just going to take the extra and bring it up here. Now I'm going to want to set all that concealer I put on my face, and this is going to help also make that concealer look so much better. It's called baking, and I take my translucent setting powder, which is one of my favorite things that I own, and then so if you've ever used a setting powder before, I've used Mineral Veil before, I've used a couple other ones. They come in a container that has the loose powder, and it can get everywhere, especially if you have small children like me that think that they can get in and play with your makeup. This has a net in it that helps prevent that, so let me get this extra off. It doesn't come out. So that's nice that it catches that. So I pick it up with a brush, and then I just set it on top of where I've put the concealer. Okay, all right, bake it in there. And if you've been able to tell a little bit of a difference, it actually diffuses that, and it doesn't look, I want to say as choppy, I don't know the correct term, but this will diffuse the light, and it will make your makeup look so much better. And it will also keep it on throughout the day. Okay, that is set. Next, I'm going to go back in with my blush. I'm going to use, I have two different colors that I like, but today I'm going to go with the lighter of the two. This is my rose gold color that I like, but this is the other color I like going more into fall and winter. But because I chose a bolder lip, I'm going to go with a little bit lighter of a cheek. I try to keep everything else a little bit lighter if I have a bolder eye or lip. So take your blush and do it right, place it right on top of where you put your bronzer. You don't want to take it in too far, because again, that will make your face look rounder. I used to smile and I would just pile it on, and it looked great to me, and you know, I'd put extra on because I felt like it disappeared throughout the day. All right, so one kind of tip or trick I want to show you is if you get too much on, you can cover it up, you can fix it. Everything's fixable when it comes to makeup, and you know, if you don't feel like it is, you can take it off and start over. So if I felt like this was a little bit too much, I could go back over it with this setting powder, and it helps tone that down. Okay, I didn't think it was too much, but I just wanted to show you in case I did. Highlighter, luminizer, another great way to lift your face. I don't care what age you are, you can use this. This is a cream to powder. I like to place this right on top of where I have placed my blush. So this is something that's going to also help lift that cheekbone. It's all about illusion. I like to put it on the tip of my nose to lift my nose a little bit, and then I go back over. And again, I don't normally have lipstick on, so I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, you can also put it up above your brows to give your brows a lifted look. And then I suggest just tapping that out. You can go back over with a beauty blender, or you can use your fingers. Some people like to use a powder over their liquid foundation, and that's fine too. It has that same kind of setting effect that the translucent setting powder has. Okay, I'm not sure if it really shows up on the camera or not, but it gives that nice highlight right in this area, which lifts my cheekbone. Okay, so that's foundation. This is just a all over everyday look for me. I have a quick look that I'm going to show you in a couple of days, a 5-minute or less look. But if I want my skin to look as flawless as it can, I like to do it this way, my full face liquid foundation. All right, let me know what questions you have. There's gonna be that color matching quiz coming up here. I forget what time I timed it to post, but I think it's around 4. So take that quiz, let me know what color you got. If you need help matching, I don't care what brand it is, I'm more than happy to help you pick a color. Let me know what your likes and dislikes are when it comes to foundation, and maybe we can address it and I can give you some ideas to make it look better. So, all right, thanks guys.